Hi, students. How are you doing? Welcome to my channel. I hope you are great. Disclaimer: this video reflects my personal opinions and commentary. It is not intended to harass, harm, or defame any individual. Content is for discussions and educational purposes. So I am seeing video of people talking about Turning Point USA and how the show was a flop. And I am going to ask first, why is it that Turning Point USA were sending messages out to people so they can tune in? Is it that bad? But yeah, I will keep it outside. And then you already need to check on Madam Kirk to make sure that she is doing great. Because at this point in time, some people love to be corny. I learned that she couldn't stream in other platforms. Why? Because she didn't get license to stream. That is how it is. But good for still my people. A lot of people were saying we are not going to watch Bad Bunny and all that. Why did you guys know it is jealousy that made them start that Turning Point stream halftime show? Because how can you, okay, to them they do not want to watch Bad Bunny because he does not support the head of fish of this administration, right? So for that reason, automatically he becomes a problem. And some are saying, oh, he doesn't speak English, his songs are not in English. Music transcends language. You don't even have to know the lyrics to say to have fun. You guys are just not good people. Let's get into this video.
You mean to tell me Turning Point USA did all this fucking talking, and y'all didn't even get your licensing straight? Y'all didn't get y'all licensing straight enough to go on X and stream from X. You're only going to be able to stream from YouTube and your channel. It's not looking good. On top of Kid Rock, rehearsing pedo lyrics about him liking underage girls. Y'all kind of, on brand with Wigs R Us. I think y'all should just shut the shit down. Honestly, save face, because no matter how many times J. Paul ass uses that broken jaw to talk about boycotting the Super Bowl halftime show because Bad Bunny is performing, the world will be watching. Some of America will be watching y'all. The world will be watching Bad Bunny, and I'm going to be Bad Bunnying it up, okay? I'm be dum 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 dum. And no, I can't speak a lick of fucking Spanish, but I'm going to be faking it till I make it tonight. You mean
So you mean to tell me Kid Rock's mic was not even on? Bob, you don't know your own songs? You mean to tell me that Tapusa only had 3% the viewage that Bad Bunny had? You mean to tell me that Trump didn't even watch Tapusa's performance? He watched Bad Bunny's show? Because he's all up on his social media complaining about it and trying to slam it because didn't nobody want to watch old raggedy ass, crusty ass whoever else was up there with Kid Rock? Irrelevant, but yeah, because they would much rather see beautiful melanated people shaking ass and having a good time and smiling and having joy and diversity and representation and culture and happiness, because deep down they wish that was them. So when can we just be honest straight up about it and just say that Bad Bunny Super Bowl was for everyone? It was to unify and include everyone and give representation to those who never get it. And Tapusa's show was for the white people. The people whose identities, right, their sense of who they are is wrapped up in their racism. I think it's safe to say that now.
So Donald Trump is currently freaking out on social media over Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime performance. He just posted this moments ago saying the Super Bowl halftime show is absolutely terrible, one of the worst ever. It makes no sense, is an affront to the greatness of America, and doesn't represent our standards of success, creativity, or excellence. Nobody understands a word this guy is saying, and the dancing is disgusting, especially for young children that are watching throughout the United States and all over the world. Bold of him to bring up protecting children when he's currently protecting Epstein and other billionaires who did bad things to young kids, but whatever. This show is a slap in the face. There's nothing inspirational about this mess of a halftime show, and watch, it will get great reviews from the fake news media because they haven't got a clue of what's going on in the real world. And the NFL should immediately replace its ridiculous new kickoff rule. Just bringing that up randomly, but he is not happy. Donald Trump and MAGA are an affront to American greatness. They don't represent anything good about this country, whereas this halftime show that focused on love and inclusion, it's as American as it gets. Certainly more American than Kid Rock and whatever the hell they did at their halftime.
Breaking news, Turning Point's All-American Halftime Show was a complete flop. Even Trump preferred to watch Bad Bunny instead. Turning Point's peak viewership for their half show was around 3.2 million people, which in reference is around a quarter of the typical viewership the Puppy Bowl brings in each year, and is less than the total amount of Republicans that voted for Trump in Texas. Like I said at the beginning of the video, not even Trump watched it. Trump posted this statement on Truth Social moments ago, saying that Bad Bunny's performance was the worst ever, absolutely terrible, so on and so forth. That's not the point. The point is that's Trump saying that he watched Bad Bunny's performance and didn't like it. But if he was watching Bad Bunny's performance, he wasn't watching Turning Point's performance. That is absolutely hilarious. That's all for now. Make sure to hit that follow button to stay in the loop.
Their halftime show is already a flop. They can't even get it to work over on Twitter. They didn't think to figure out the licensing before they tried to stream their halftime show. For those of you who don't know, the context to this is that Kid Rock and Turning Point USA decided to have their very own halftime show, the All American Halftime Show, because they were upset that Bad Bunny, who by the way is American, was performing at the halftime show at the Super Bowl. And not only are they not able to stream it on X, but other folks are reporting that it is not working on YouTube for Samsung. Calling it an all-American halftime show when the person who is performing at the actual halftime show is literally all-American is so insane. But you see, this is what happens. This is what happens when you do too much.
What's going on, y'all? God Cloud here. So Tapussa has been having trouble getting they didn't get the fucking shit cleared, yo. They didn't get any of the rights cleared to do this thing. So yeah. They're just streaming it on YouTube now, and it looks like shit. But the comments are great. I've seen nothing live, not very well set up. And on YouTube is asking me to sign. Yeah, that's up. Do you not have a YouTube account, Bobby G 1234? Of course, Bobby G 1234 doesn't have a YouTube account. I didn't really look at the comments. Oh my god. Okay. Mickey Mac. Mickey Mac has to say, we knew the Democrats would throw a wrench into anything faith-based and patriotic. Now it's the Dems' fault because the pussa didn't get the fucking rights cleared. Like, listen, you have to get like a license to do something like this, and if you want to broadcast it, right? That's how this works. It's how broadcasting in America works. And anywhere, honestly. But oh my god, this Bobby G, you got me. You cooked me, bro. And Laura, we got one from the Queen Harpy herself, Laura Loomer. Hold on, I gotta get the full comment on this. Hold on one second. Yeah, so Laura Loomer takes, I guess, the time to promote Rumble, saying I thought Rumble was a sponsor of Tapussa. Didn't just some boy. I don't know. What's his name? 1234. Just set the bar for the comments, yo, and I don't think anybody's stopping. 1234 guy. Real professional Tapussa. I just wanted to throw this in there, but this is what the show was looking like. They were loading, and it's in this tiny venue. It's in like a hall. I don't know where this is at, but it's like some small, shitty venue. I guess that's Lee Bryce.
Let's have an uncomfortable conversation about the Super Bowl halftime show. The Benito Bowl with Bad Bunny, sponsored by the NFL in the middle of the matchup on Sunday. And then this alternative halftime show with Kid Rock as the headliner, sponsored by Turning Point USA. Have we actually asked ourselves what we're witnessing? Are you aware that this is a byproduct of an idealized version of America? That a group of people said, if you attack the integrity of this idealized version of America that we have, if you show up in a way that feels foreign to us and it attacks the integrity of the country that we've created, we have to put you on the outskirts. We have to exclude you. We have to keep you separate and segregated from the program that we actually deserve. Taking eyes and energy and attention off of this moment that Bad Bunny earned. This is more than the music. This is a critique on a man and his culture. This is a man who's proudly Puerto Rican. And we got people who are gatekeeping what it means to actually belong in this country, what it means to rightfully exist here. That's not a hot take, okay? But this is, I heard a creator on this app earlier say this quote: the same people pushing and fighting for a halftime show separate from the actual Super Bowl performance are the same people that might have wanted segregated water fountains just a few decades ago, based in their discomfort. I don't know if it's an overcorrection. I don't know if it's an accurate statement. That's for you to discern and think about. But I do want to share some words with you relative to this concept of the American pie. But before I do that, let me say this. You wonder why people are fighting for representation. You wonder why people want to be seen, why people want to be heard, why people are protesting, but you refuse to accept the fact that we are in an era, again, as we have been for a very long time as a country, steeped in bigotry, misogyny, and racism, where the president, the commander-in-chief, whether he pushed the button or not, or it was a staffer, felt comfortable releasing on social media a video demeaning a former president, the only black president our country's ever had, and a former First Lady, Michelle Obama. Closest thing that you could do as the president to calling somebody outwardly the N-word in the middle of Black History Month, you did that. And you wonder why people are excited to watch a man sing songs with a set list solely in Spanish. Representation, progress, not woke, not DEI, not some weird anti-American agenda, just a person being able to exist in a place that he comes from and represent his people and culture, communicate in a way that feels comfortable to him. American pie. Imagine society as a pie with resources controlled by a select few who exclude others who also contributed to its creation. The berries might have came from a black farmer. The flour might have been harvested from indigenous land. The hardware it was cooked in might have been created by a Ghanaian in a glass factory. The stove itself might have been designed by Asian appliance artisans. And yet the ones who own the stove and control the pie get to decide who does and does not get a slice. What is it that makes us so uncomfortable about communication? There is something so unsettling about the way we engage with anything that does not speak our first language. We hear words, see shows, listen to music, and experience art through the lens of languages that we understand. And the less we comprehend, the more curious we should be becoming. But instead of curiosity, we often critique. Instead of wonder, we withdraw. Instead of asking what we might be missing, we dismiss things altogether. I don't know what it is, but America, and I should be able to critique my country. I come from it. So if you're one of those people that's pissed off that I'm giving a critique about these cultural times that we live in that are wildly upsetting, you can respectfully. But this is what I will say. I know you want Kenny Chesney. I know you want jets flying over the stadium and fireworks, and Kenny Chesney will put a boot in your ass on behalf of the red, white, and blue. I know you want all those things. I know you want Jesus that looks like Barry Gibb from the Bee Gees with the perm and the abs ripped up and the American flag tattoo on his arm. And I'm not sorry that you're getting Benito tonight. I'm not sorry you got Kendrick last year or Rihanna years before or The Weeknd years before. This is culture. Culture that comes from this country. Culture that helps progress us and move us forward. And one day you'll wake up, hopefully, and realize like, wow, I've been wildly judgmental in all the wrong ways when I should have been curious, because that's what would have connected me to the rest of humanity so I could feel it in its fullness. I'll leave you with this, because I know a lot of y'all are Christians, right? People who are like, God wants this and God wants that, and Christianity this, when it's really just a banner to hang, your belief beneath. That discriminates amongst people groups and actually doesn't love its neighbor. But for all Christians out there who need to be challenged, let me give you this. Shalom is not just an inner peace, but it's an active one. It is impossible to pursue shalom while rejecting the fullness of another's humanity. If shalom is completeness, then cultural supremacy, this idea that our experience, language, and worldview should be centered, is the greatest enemy of shalom. It is impossible to claim peace while ignoring the fractures we refuse to mend. Theologically, shalom calls for an embodied peace, one that moves beyond tolerance and into deep appreciation. The gospel compels us to see people not as other, but as image bearers of God. Imago Dei, the imprint on every human life, means that wholeness is not complete until it's shared. This is why racial reconciliation is not just an optional pursuit for the believer, but an essential one. It is not about diversity for diversity's sake, it's about embodying the kingdom. What if we approached unfamiliar art, not just Kendrick's performance or Benito's performance, but every expression of culture that does not fit neatly into our own experiences, with a posture of humility rather than dismissal? What if we saw every language, every rhythm, every perspective as an opportunity to expand rather than a threat to defend against? I say that to you. Shalom.
So the Turning Point USA halftime show couldn't be streamed on X because of licensing issues. Now, as somebody that has been in the music business for a long time, I can tell you what those licensing issues are. A publishing company or multiple publishing companies of the artists and labels said, nope, that's mass distribution and we don't want to be associated, and we don't want our artists being associated with this mayonnaise-laced raisins in the potato salad, no seasoning halftime show. It's going to be a bad look. We're not competing against Bad Bunny. That's what happened. That's why the licensing issues stopped them from streaming it on X, because someone was going to get sued, because Elon Musk wanted this show streamed on X. He owns it. So why would he stop it? No, it's the labels and the publishing companies that was like, nah, we ain't doing this, homie. And the worst part about it is they only streamed it. Turning Point USA only streamed it on their YouTube channel, and they only got 4 million views at this particular point. 4 million views, that's it. Compared to hundreds of millions of views that Bad Bunny got. And he did a really good job on the show. I really enjoyed it. Donald Trump is mad, but Donald Trump is always going to be mad when it's not some mayonnaise-laced, non-seasoned foolishness. But racism is corny now. It really is corny, and it's a waste of people's time. If you're racist, just know that you're corny, and it's a waste of your time to be racist.
I also want to get ahead of this with like actual data. So the only thing that conservatives hate more than when not white people are on TV is numbers. For people who claim to be pro-life, they sure are fighting pretty hard to defend that abortion of a Kid Rock concert. There are absolutely going to be people saying, oh, 5 million people did watch it. Okay, so the USA has about 340 million people, right? So you're telling me about 1.5% of people tuned into that absolute dumpster fire. Just to give you an example of what a lot of people watching something is, the World Series with the Blue Jays, right? Country's 40 million people, about 23 million people watched the World Series at some point. That's good numbers. That's over 50%. And if you don't like me using like the population of the United States as a reference, we'll just use 120 million-ish people that watch the Super Bowl every year. So that would still only be about 4% of people. But you got to remember, an hour after it streamed, 189,000 views. So the real number is like 0.1%.
So Tapusa, aka Trailer Park USA, aired its All-American halftime show versus the NFL's halftime show. And its lineup pretty much consisted of who's who of who the hell is that. Instead of an actual halftime show, it looked like the Temu What I Bought versus What I Got DIY version of a halftime show that was held inside of an abandoned warehouse. And to absolutely no surprise, it consisted of American flags, fire, and fireworks. And they pretty much looked like they were recycled with the ones that were used along with Erica Kirk. So I'm surprised Erica Kirk did not actually make an appearance at this event. But going back to the American flag and the pyrotechnics, let me show you a screen grab that I got from Kid Rock session. I'm telling you, these are probably the same fireworks and the flag that was reused from Charlie Kirk's memorial. And speaking of Kid Rock, his performance of his hit song Ba With The Ba was very lip-sync-tastic. I'm just gonna venture a guess he probably did not remember some of the words to his very own song. Sorry, I can't with the praying mantis pose. It's totally giving me who let their drunk uncle go up on stage and do some karaoke. But drop me a comment and let me know if you enjoyed the NFL halftime show with Bad Bunny, because the Tapusa one looked like a complete shit show.
I'm about to crash out. Tell me why I just finished the halftime show of the Super Bowl with Bad Bunny performing an amazing performance. Lady Gaga was in it. It was great. Amazing. And if you use your brain just a little bit, you will see that there's a message being portrayed. America should not be divided. It should be united. Tell me why. I go on my social media. Countless people are literally boycotting the halftime show. Oh, let's go watch Kid Rock. Yeah, he's not going to be a disgrace to America because Bad Bunny is. Why? Why exactly? Because you can't understand a thing he's saying in the show? Oh, why would I say that? Nobody understands a word this guy is saying. Right. So we're just going to act like people that speak English are above people that speak Spanish. Because why? Not to mention the bigger things going on in the world right now, like people getting killed off the street, US citizens, the Epstein files, which nobody that is boycotting the Super Bowl halftime show is talking about or speaking up about. You guys are crazy. Use your brains. This cannot be what we are living in. Like, this is so sad.
My favorite thing about the Super Bowl is Donald Trump admitting that he didn't watch Turning Point USA's halftime show. And for the proof, this is 7 p.m. my time, which is 9 p.m. Eastern time, and the game was not over yet. The Super Bowl halftime show is absolutely terrible, one of the worst ever. It makes no sense. It's an affront on the greatness of America and doesn't represent our standards of success, creativity, or excellence. Bad Bunny was the #1 performing artist of 2025, so it does represent the greatness that is America. He's the greatest artist in America at this moment, and he was performing at the halftime show, which is quintessentially American. Nobody understands a word this guy is saying, and the dancing is disgusting, especially for young children that are watching from throughout the USA and all over the world. Will stop again. There are approximately 60 million Spanish-speaking individuals in this country, so I don't know what he means by nobody understands.
This is all I got from this video. And I am going to see, I don't understand how people tuned into Turning Point USA, because anyway, or who am I to even say, ask you, did you tune in there or not? Because I know my people will not do that. And from what I saw, I learned that it was in kind of a flop, and that the head fish of the administration did not tune into. So, and then they did not get license to stream on other platforms. So it was more like only YouTube. And the people that went there were like, oh, it was like, that it wasn't so great. Man, I don't care about Turning Point USA on God. I don't give a shit about all these. Like, you know, the major show was Bad Bunny show. The major show was Bad Bunny halftime show. So why do I have to tune into another platform to go and do what? What will I be doing? Okay, in all, I am glad that people probably tuned in to see what they were doing, to see if it was a flop or not. I also love the fact that people enjoyed watching the real thing, like the main show, right? So sometimes people try to cancel somebody. You know, sometimes they try to make you irrelevant. But when God says, I am going to make you relevant, you know, that happens. They tried all they could to make sure that a Bad Bunny does not exist. Someone that is already big. He is a big shot. I don't care what you guys, he is already a big shot. Right? And then you guys wanted to dim his light because you feel that his kind of music is not what you understand, and it is not accordance in the word of. Then forgetting that, did you guys see how they were canceling Kid Rock with the lyrics he has? Oh, anyway, see, sometimes I don't know how this heaven will be. This race some people are running, I don't know where some people will end that race only in Texas. Some will end it in Houston. Okay, Houston, Texas. Some will end it in Minneapolis. That's heavenly race some people are running. They might not get anywhere on God. The way I'm saying it, they might not get anywhere. If there is anywhere we are even running to, because the universe is just, okay, don't take me seriously, please. Don't take me seriously. Yeah, so it was a flop, right? Erica, somebody should check up on Erica Kirk to know if she's doing great or not, because it was all there. all their masterminded efforts to make sure that Bad Bunny did not excel. Like, how can somebody know, like, like, I don't even have to know the lyrics properly to even jam to it. It's a hit. I will draw the curtain here. Bye for now.